Hello, and welcome to our third and final edition of The Hill, a program produced by Lincoln University journalism students. I'm Bryan Atlas. Recent shootings within blocks of Lincoln University campus has prompted some to wonder whether the two are related. The Hill's Amanda McCarter spoke with two men who say the recent outbreak in crime has nothing to do with LU or its students.
To some, Lincoln University is a staple in the community that offers an education to anyone who is willing to work hard for it. But to others, Lincoln University is a place that attracts troubled youth and drives up the crime rate in Jefferson City. Or at least, that's what a lot of the comments on the News Tribune website say. I spoke with Kimo Edwards, a Lincoln University alumni who wrote a letter to the editor of the News Tribune about the unfair stereotypes on Lincoln University students.
I kind of got irritated with seeing that every time there was a crime in Jefferson City, that which was committed by a black person, the negative stereotype obviously came to being. It was not only the black people being blamed for it in terms of individual, it was also Lincoln University Association with that. And me being a proud alumni of Lincoln University and saying that we also have a number of Lincoln University graduates who live in this community and are working professionals, I felt like somebody needed to speak up not only on behalf of the black community but also on behalf of the university.
Recently, there have been some violent crimes that have occurred near campus. The Jefferson City chapter of the NAACP is planning a forum to educate the community and make it known that this is a community concern and not a race issue.
What I would really like to see in terms of the goals of the forum would be for the community to embrace Lincoln University in the same way that most college towns embrace the colleges that are within their borders. That we will be able to put together whether it's a committee or a group of people, to look at further steps in terms of the safety and security, of Jefferson City's people, whether they are on campus or off campus.
Reporting for The Hill, I'm Amanda McCarter.
Meanwhile, a new interchange is in the works that'll make it easier for Lincolnites and the rest of Jefferson City to maneuver the city's east side. Improvements on Lafayette Street began last summer. Keandra Razzle spoke with a member of the Cole County Commission to find out the current status of the project.
Jefferson City residents may have noticed some construction taking place on Lafayette Street. Cole County Presiding Commissioner Mark Ellinger explains what's going on.
Well, it's a bigger project than just one stretch. Currently, we're doing the section of Lafayette Street between East McCarty Street and High Street. We've already done the portion of Lafayette Street from Capitol Avenue all the way to the River Bluff, which is through the new prison, the old prison site, which has opened up that area. Ultimately, the goal is to have the Lafayette interchange built, which will bring off-ramps off of Highway 50, opening up access along Lafayette Street to Lincoln University, to the high school, to the south, and to the penitentiary site to the north.
Eric Landwehr, County Engineer for Public Works, describes some of the physical changes residents can look forward to seeing on Lafayette in the near future.
It's a curb and gutter street with sidewalk. It'll be a 3-lane road instead of a 2-lane road like it is today, which will allow for left turning movements. There'll be signals at each High Street and McCarty Street. Currently, it's just a 4-way stop.
Mark Ellinger explains where the funds for the street improvements are coming from.
The street improvements themselves, being Lafayette Street, is jointly funded between the city and the county. Each of us are funding that with $2 million. The overpass will be funded through a combination of local money, federal money, and state money.
Mark Ellinger also goes on to explain how these improvements will benefit Jefferson City.
This road will allow traffic to flow more easily. When we get the interchange in, it'll allow folks to come off the highway and be able to merge on to Lafayette Street, whether they're going north or south, which ultimately will increase access, makes the land more valuable, therefore better commercial development, and long-term more economic development.
Current construction on Lafayette Street is slated to be finished by the end of the year. Stay tuned. We'll be back with an inside peek at Lincoln University's football team and how they're shaping up under their new coach. Thurgood Marshall was born July 2nd, 1908 in Baltimore, Maryland, an innovator, trailblazer, and the first African-American Supreme Court Justice. Thurgood Marshall College Fund was started in 1985 by the late Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall has awarded over $100 million in scholarships during its last 22 years of history. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund, preparing the next generation of leaders.
What goes up must come down, but don't let me fall.
Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of our children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Welcome back to The Hill. I'm Bryan Atlas. In late January, Lincoln University announced they'd hired a new head football coach. Mike Jones, more commonly known for making the tackle in Super Bowl 34, Jones had a chance to give the team a good once-over. In early May, during the team's annual spring game, the Blue Tiger football team had a spring football game this past weekend to show the university and the community how far they have come. Alan Grant, a senior leader on offense, tells us how he feels about this up-and-coming season.
This past weekend went very well. We had an excellent crowd. The turnout was great. I enjoyed all the support we got from fans, the community, and most importantly, the Lincoln Blue Tiger students. I appreciated the effort that everyone came together for putting a great event together like that. I usually don't like to go into a season predicting wins and losses because I feel like that's not how we can rate our success. I feel like that we're going to compete in every game and get better every week so that we can compete in MIAA. It's not going to be an overnight turnaround. Coach Jones and his staff are coming in the spring, and they're bringing us together as a team now, and it's going to take progress.
The offense is coming along very well. Let's see how the defensive side of the ball is coming along.
Defense is coming along. Like last year, we was pretty all right too. But, it's always room for improvement. So, and the coach is going to get us there. It's like when they was out there, they weren't talking. So, they got to communicate. Everybody got to communicate. Just talk it up so everybody know what to do.
The Blue Tigers are really fired up about this season. This is Bryan Atlas reporting from The Hill. LU is coming off a 2-9 season. The Blue Tigers kick off their season September 3rd at home against Avalon University. When we come back, we'll take a look at how some Lincoln University students are reaching out to those in need, and an inspirational LU student who greets adversity with a positive outlook.
There is no reason to leave Lincoln University without a degree. Student Support Services is here to help Lincoln students.
Student Support Services here at Lincoln University provides a full spectrum of services to help students achieve success. We also provide success coaches where you can sit down 3 times each semester with someone who's fully vested in helping you achieve success.
In order to participate in SSS, you must be enrolled at Lincoln University's undergraduate program. You must be a U.S. citizen or have resident alien status, and must meet at least one of the following criteria. You must be a first-generation college student, must meet federal guidelines for low income, or have a documented disability. For more information, go to Dawson Hall's Annex or call 573-681-5974. And remember,
there's no reason why anyone should fail at Lincoln University. Thank you.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will always hurt me. For more information on cyberbullying and prevention, go to www.stopcyberbullying.org.
We've all heard the old saying, if you can walk a mile in my shoes. Well, the Hill's Bryn Harris spoke to a young man who takes life one step at a time, never forgetting to count his blessings or his many talents.
Lincoln University, an institution that was built and maintained from the persistence and strengths of its students. The students here experience a variety of issues, but manage to maintain a poker face throughout adversity. John L. McGee, a junior at Lincoln University, is among the best at maintaining composure. The barber, musician, and art student deals with the daily torment of renal disease.
Renal disease it's a kidney disease, whereas your kidney function is not working properly as well as it should. Or actually, renal disease is kidney failure.
John L. explains his daily routine with renal disease.
I have to take 8 different kinds of medications every day to monitor my blood pressure.
There are 5 stages in renal disease. John L. explains which stage he's on.
Like right now I'm on stage 3, which means that my kidneys are stable. They're not getting any worse or any better right now. But if my function get any worse for me to move on to a 4, I might need dialysis.
John L. explains how his art helps him escape.
So when I'm doing art, I kind of escape the world. Like, I'm focused in the painting, and when I'm done with it, I'm just happy. And Lincoln helped me like to display my art and get my, just to get my skills, just put it on display for me, because they host art shows. They have the band come marching around so people see me.
John L. explains how he started cutting hair and what it means to him.
I've been cutting hair since I was 11 years old, using my father's clippers. I used to have to ask parents, can I cut their child's hair and stuff? And from that point on, I just kept with it, because it's a hobby for me. It's another form of art to me, and plus it puts money in my pocket.
A hopeful and persistent student at Lincoln University, John L. has this to say in closing.
And whatever you do, just do it to the fullest. Don't let any disease or anybody try to, stop you from doing anything that you want to do in life.
This is Brent Harris for The Hill.
For more information on renal disease, go to www.usrds.org. So now we take an experiential look at how a group of Lincoln University students and staff are reaching out to those in need one step at a time.
Iota Phi Theta Incorporated services the community by walking a mile with no shoes required.
We went to our regional conference about a month ago, which took place at Illinois State University, other known as Iota State University. The Brothers of the Afro Road chapter there had put together the same event, and they had got a lot of their community and student body involved, and we did the same. What we did was we sent out letters to invite all the students, staff, and other organizations on campus.
This event did not only bring out people's feet, but it also brought out their goodwill. Lauren Powell, a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and a couple of her sorority sisters walked around a mile and donated clothes as well.
It was just real simple. We just came, we did 5 laps around the quad, and without any shoes and socks on if possible.
I want to thank everybody for coming out, especially the AKAs. They donated $100 to the American Red Cross, other Greek organizations, and the student body. The CAB was out here, student athletes, ladies basketball team, public safety officers came out today and also show support. We'd just like to thank all Lincoln University students that attended the event.
We're going to end this episode of The Hill by meeting Jefferson City's new mayor and taking a look at some of the topics he faced with addressing. The Hill's Bryn Harris kicks it off for us with a look at the capital city's new leader.
Jefferson City, a small town full of small business opportunity, has been the target of the new mayor-elect, Eric Strumpf.
Hello, I'm Eric Strumpf. I'm not a politician, I'm a businessman. I believe in a small, efficient city government. On February 8th, I would be honored to earn your vote for mayor so I could put my common sense business approach to work for Jefferson City.
Strumpf, a graduate of William Woods with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration and a Master's of Business, was the general manager of C.E.D. Phillips, an electrical distributor in Jefferson City, Missouri. He was also elected as the city councilman to the 4th Ward of Jefferson City, Missouri. At the mayoral forum, Strumpf explains his goal as mayor of Jefferson City.
I'm very excited about the opportunity to be your next mayor. As mayor, I will move our city forward in a direction that will make young people want to move back and others want to stay here. We need leadership as a mayor that is energetic, conservative, and someone who knows what it's like to run a profit-oriented private business.
Among Strumpf's credentials, he's a former firefighter and has completed the Jefferson City's Police Academy. Strumpf's goals seem to be in line with conserving Jefferson City's landmarks, one in particular, the Missouri State Prison.
We must continue to work with the state to try to get control of MSP, at least for our tours. Steve Picker and his group currently they do a great job with that. As time goes on, we would like to obviously protect MSP as a whole.
The newly elected mayor covered a variety of topics, from adding a polling station to Lincoln University for voting to working with young professionals associated with the Jefferson City Chamber of Commerce. Eric Strumpf had this to say about the position of the mayor.
I believe that Jefferson City's next mayor must have the highest of integrity. I am that candidate.
With hope that the newly elected mayor will live up to his word, this is Brent Harris for The Hill.
Even though Jefferson City residents voted down Proposition A in April, it's clear this isn't a topic that's going away. The Hill spoke with several key figures in the fight to change the city's current trash service. The city's trash pickup has been a big issue in the recent city council meetings. While some are satisfied with Allied Waste's new single-stream recycling service, others were dissatisfied with their new way of servicing them. Some citizens have formed a group called Citizens Action Committee Against Ordinance. Here's Ray Walker, a member of steering committee of CACAO, talking about how he came to work on Proposition A.
Well, I got involved with the trash issue actually before it became an ordinance. At some of the public hearings, I went to those and saw how the people were being ignored at those public meetings, people who were voicing opposition to the plan at that point. So when the city council passed it, I just decided that this could not be, that some corrections had to be made to the situation, and tried to start a referendum to stop it before it ever got started. Referendum according to the city charter. It's quite different from the initiative that we went through. Similar but different. Then I found out that Arthur Brown was holding a meeting about the issue, and I attended to that and just got involved with it from there. I presented to the folks involved, Arthur and all the others, the wording for the ordinance, for the actual ballot, and all of that. So you have been had mightily. You have fallen to a fear campaign. You have not really looked into the situation as deeply as you should have. Quite frankly, you believed a bunch of lies. You were lied to and you believed it. So, I mean, I don't hold them in very high regard at all.
Arthur Brown, the chairman of CACAO, relates how the voting of Proposition A was smeared by scare tactics and negative campaigning.
We wanted the people of Jefferson City to have a vote on trash service, which it was not done in the first place. When this was initially done, they went around the vote of the people and got themselves involved in the contract. Proposition A would have given the people an opportunity, if it had passed, to have a choice of services. One size does not fit all. The way it's structured now, every household pays the same rate for the same service. Different situations for different people have not been addressed. The elderly who don't need a large volume of trash service is charged the same thing that the people that have a large volume of trash service. There's no options to it. It's just one size that fits all. I say intimidation. When you do a big campaign, you got a lot of money. They were bombarded with TV ads, radio, television, saying they're going to lose their trash service, the city's going to be sued. These were just their opinions. We have legal staff on our side that have looked at the contract, and we feel that our legal advice was that these things that the people were being told were half true. So that's yet to be seen.
The voting on Proposition A was denied by City Council. For more information, contact Arthur H. Brown at 573-635-7207 or contact Ray Walker at 573-635-3801. Another controversial topic before the mayor is the development of Adrian's Island, a peninsula-like area along the Missouri River bank near the state capitol.
Creating access from the city's core area to the riverfront lawn has been a dream of some city leaders and residents. Others consider the idea a wasteful nightmare. Tunneling under railroad tracks, however, creates engineering and safety concerns, and the Union Pacific is not ready to approve the proposal. I spoke with Regional Director from the Union Pacific, Mike Davis, about his concerns regarding the project.
Really, the island itself, it is the proposed tunnel that the city would like to put underneath our railroad track. We need to make sure that anytime we disturb the ground under the track, that it is within standards that we can ensure will continue to support the railroad track above.
This obviously will slow further any decision on the tunnel. I spoke with the Parks and Recs of Jefferson City, Missouri's director, Bill Lockwood, on his comments regarding Adrian's Island.
We've done a number of studies through the years to try to determine the best point to access the property. That study resulted in a recommendation of a tunnel being constructed under the tracks just west of the state capitol building. We have proceeded with preparation of engineering plans and specifications. Those have been submitted to Union Pacific Railroad for their review, and we're still awaiting a response regarding their review comments. See about what is the next step in the process to getting the project completed.
As of now, there is no decision yet on when the proposal will be approved. This is Regina Shields reporting for The Hill.
There's been discussion of Jefferson City building a convention center for years. The Hill's Keandra Russell explored where that discussion stands now.
A possible convention center may come to Jefferson City. Marianne Thies, a sales manager at the Jefferson City Convention and Visitors Bureau, explains where the money for construction will come from.
It's going to pay for it with an extra 3% lodging tax, and that will be collected by the hotels within the city limits, and that money is earmarked for the convention center itself.
Not only would the convention center bring in more jobs, but also better the Jefferson City community.
It just will open so much more opportunity to Jefferson City to bring in bigger events, bigger conferences, bigger conventions. And of course, all of that will help all of our hotels as well as our businesses, because we all know that these people don't just come in and go to a conference. They come in and they buy gas for their vehicles, they eat lunch, they maybe spend money in our stores, all of which helps the economy of Jefferson City. People come in and they spend money in our city. That helps keep our property taxes lower. It adds to the money that our city has to pay for firefighters and police and all of the city services that we enjoy. If we don't bring visitors in to spend their money here and their tax dollars that end up in Jefferson City, then we will all spend more for housing, we'll spend more for taxes, and it'll just be a more costly place to live.
Marianne Theis revealed a possible location for the convention center.
They're looking at the intersection of Broadway and McCarty Street, kind of in the location of the old health lab, the Missouri State Health Lab, right beside the Capitol Plaza and across the street from the Baymont.
For those who do not support the construction of a conference center, Marianne offers these words of advice.
That probably if they don't understand the business of bringing in groups and what they actually spend here, they maybe are annoyed when they go out to eat on a Saturday night and when there's a convention in town and they can't get into any restaurant. That's the perception that they have. But from our perception is we know that these people spend money in Jefferson City, and we know that just helps our economy here.
Another topic the mayor is faced with is a lack of sidewalks in a number of key areas across the city. The Hill's Amanda McCarter walked around town to see what she could find out for herself.
Sidewalks, or the lack of sidewalks, have been a hot topic for Jefferson City residents. According to the Citizen Survey, over 80% of residents consider sidewalks a priority. I spoke with Matt Marash of the Department of Community Development about these concerns.
I think it was in the last year, a couple years even, we've done pretty extensive inventory of the sidewalks throughout the entire city, and we found that there's 80 miles of existing sidewalks thereabouts, approximately 80 miles of sidewalk in the entire city. And then we, part of that inventory was to look at the condition of them and if they needed repair, those kind of things. And we found that there's a little over $1 million of repairs needed to those sidewalks. And so just this year we're getting ready to get starting to repair some of those as the budget will allow.
Busy streets that have a lot of traffic as well as pedestrians are also a concern.
Ellis Boulevard doesn't have any sidewalks, or not very many sidewalks in most locations. It is an area that we'd like to see sidewalks along. There's been no funding for that yet, but it's obviously an arterial street.
Reporting for The Hill, I'm Amanda McCarter.
The last topic facing Jefferson City's new mayor that The Hill investigated was the topic of revitalization. The Hill's Bruce Jenkins took a stroll through one neighborhood that's already received a facelift.
The German-cultured community in the south side of Jefferson City, Old Munichburg, has been under renovation to reach new heights with new lights to refurbish the town.
The Old Munichburg district, actually the name Old Munichburg is a change from the true name of this community. It was called Minchburg, which was named after now its sister city. The immigrants came over from Germany from the Minchburg region and settled in this area. Munichburg had a big blacksmith shop, and it had a hotel, which is now the Echo. And the hotel was called Farmers and Traders Hotel. And the farmers would come in from the surrounding communities, stay there, house their livestock behind the hotel, and spend time getting supplies for the next month, week, whatever they were able to do.
From the 1800s to now, the old community has been striving to expand its German culture to reach to non-German residents around the community.
I think it's wonderful. I worked on a task force for neighborhood improvement a few years ago, and the Old Town Group has taken that whole concept and run with it, and I think a lot of progress is being made.
This is Bruce Jenkins reporting to you for The Hill.
The Hill tried to get the mayor to sit down and discuss these topics, but he declined. However, the Hill wishes Mayor Strumpf all the best in leading Jefferson City. You want the real? Well, here's the Hill. I'm Bryan Atlas.